Good morning to all of you. Today we are going to study Class 6 History Lesson number 3 in the earliest cities. Let me start this video with a very fascinating story, Lost Civilization. And to make this story more interesting, let me take you 150 years back when the India was colonized by the Britishers. It was 1853 that the railways got introduced by the Britishers in India, and the first railway link was between Bombay to Thane. The network was spreading all over India in all directions. The railroads were getting constructed everywhere, and by this time the laborers saw several building structures which were fully brick. They took all those bricks instead of making them. They consumed all those bricks to construct their own houses or to construct the railway line and the link and all those buildings that were necessary. Well, it took several years for the archaeologists to describe this as a discovery of a lost civilization by those laborers, as they have found a city called as Harappa. Archaeologist meaning the scientific study of material remains such as tools, pottery, jewelry, stone walls and monuments of past human life and activities. A very famous city of the Indus Valley civilization were now in front. Now the archaeologists have taken the history of India by some 5,000 years back. It was Great Leap, and by this time they discovered the whole lot of civilization which is called by this name as the Indus Valley civilization. It was a great leap in front of all the archaeologists that they found several sites and several cities which were all constructed. It included the Harappa, the Kalibanga, the Mohenjo-daro, Lothal, Dholavira and whole lot of stuff which was nothing less but a miracle in front of the archaeologist. No wonder those laborers did make a damage to that particular city, but still a lot was to be discovered now. So children, in this Harappan was first excavated by Rai Bahadur Daya Ram Sahani in 1921 and Mohenjo-daro by Rakhal Das Banerjee in 1922. The cultivation thoroughly flourished roughly between 2500 to 1500 BC, and that is about 3500 to 4500 years ago. Now children, we will proceed and take next topic, that is extent of the Harappan civilization. In this topic, first point, it has been assumed after coming to Harappa, Mohenjo-daro and the other nearby sites for many years, it has been believed that the civilization was limited to a small area near the Indus River. Afterwards, due to excavation, showed that this civilization was spread over large parts of present-day Pakistan and the Indian states of Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan and Gujarat. Excavation meaning it is the act or process of digging, especially when something specific is being removed from the ground. Many sites belonging to Harappa civilization have been discovered in these places. Still, some sites have been excavated and thoroughly researched, while others are still awaiting excavation. Now, next we will take main sites of the Harappan civilization. In this topic, first point, important sites. Harappan and Mohenjo-daro are the most important sites. Harappa and Mohenjo-daro are the twin capitals of the civilization. Then third point, many other famous sites are Kot Diji, Amri and Chanu Doro, all in Pakistan, Rupar in Punjab, Banawali in Haryana, Alamgirpur in Uttar Pradesh, Kalibangan in Rajasthan and Rangpur, Rochdi, Lothal, Dholavira and Goladoro, all in Gujarat. So children, next we will take well-planned cities of the civilization. Now, let us see what was so special about these cities. The archaeologists have found that these cities were made in a specific pattern. First point, well-planned cities pattern. First point, well-planned cities. Most cities were very well planned. The street cut each other at right angles. Houses were built on both sides of the street in a planned way. Briquette bricks were used to construct buildings. Most cities, including Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, were divided into two parts. They are citadel or the acropolis. Now, citadel meaning in past times a castle on high ground in or near a city where people could go when the city was being attacked. So first we will take citadel part. Citadel was built on raised ground. Citadel had high walls made of bricks which provided protection during contained public buildings, religious structures and granaries. Granaries meaning a large building for storing grains. The ruler and the ruling class, consisting of rich merchants and priests, probably lived there. Okay, we will proceed now. Next one, that is the lower town. Lower town was the residential area where the common people lived. The houses were 1 or 2 stories high. They were built of briquette bricks. Most houses had a courtyard with rooms around it, a bathroom, a kitchen and a well. Courtyard meaning an area of ground without a roof that has walls or building around it. Clear, children? Next we will take impressive structure at Mohenjo-daro. Now see, in this first great bath, the most impressive structure at Mohenjo-daro is the Great Bath. Great Bath is located at the citadel. Great Bath is a large rectangular tank surrounded by corridor on all 4 sides with flights of steps on the north and south leading into the tank. The floor of the tank is watertight due to finely filtered bricks laid on edge with gypsum plaster, and the side walls were constructed in a similar manner. To make the tank even more watertight, a thick bitumen meaning natural tar, was laid along the sides of the Great Bath. Water was probably drawn from a well and drained out after use. The Great Bath was used for bathing on special occasions. Most scholars agree that Great Bath would have been used for special religious functions where water was used to purify and renew the well-being of the bathers. See children, in this we are having Harappan granary. Now granaries were found at several sites such as Harappa, Lothal and Mohenjo-daro. 2 rows of 6 granaries were found at Harappa. working floors consisting of rows of the granaries in Harappa. It is believed that granaries were built for threshing grains, as remains of grains of wheat and barley were found in crevices of the floor. Near the granaries, 2-room barracks have been found which might have housed labourers. The granary was built on a raised platform to protect it from floods. Here, threshing meaning to separate the grain or seeds from by some mechanical means, as by beating with a flail or by the action of a threshing machine. Crevices meaning a small narrow crack or space, especially in the surface of rock. Barracks meaning a building or group of building in which soldiers live. So children, we will proceed further. Next slide, that is the drainage system. First point, very well planned. The drainage system of the cities was very well planned. The bathrooms had sloping floors and had drains which were connected to the street drains. The kitchen also had drains connected to the main street drains. They were covered with bricks and were cleaned from time to time. Clear? Next, we will take Harappan occupation and craft. Now, in this slide, people they followed different occupations such as farmers, weavers, potters, jewelers, metal workers, toy makers, stone cutters, seal makers, boat makers, masons and traders. Agriculture was the main occupation of the Indus Valley people. Pottery making had reached an advanced stage. Beautiful reddish glaze pottery with different designs has been discovered from almost all the sites. A large number of seals have also been found. Most of them are made of terracotta and are square or rectangular in shape. Seals have animal figures and picture-like sign on them. Craftsmen made things of stone, shell and either in their homes or at workshop. They made beads, amulets, weights and ornaments such as ring, necklaces, bracelets, bangles and earrings. People living in villages grew crops and reared cattle. Wheat and barley were the main crops. Rice, pulses and mustard were also grown. Now further, we will take next topic, that is Harappan's trade. The Harappans exported surplus goods and brought in goods that were in a short supply. Copper, tin, gold, silver and precious metal were brought from outside, possibly from Mesopotamia, modern Iraq, Persia, modern Iran, Oman and Afghanistan. Trading links with Mesopotamia have been proved by the discovery of Mesopotamian seals in many Harappan cities and Harappan seals in the cities of ancient Mesopotamia. The overseas trade was perhaps carried on from Lothal, where a dockyard for ships has been found. Next, Harappan's script. The Harappan script has been engraved on numerous seals that have been found at all the Indus Valley sites. It is the earliest form of writing discovered in India. The script of the Harappans was pictographic. It had picture-like sign representing words, objects and ideas. Now, next Harappan cities in Gujarat. First, Lothal. Lothal is a coastal site. It was divided into a citadel and a lower town. A large warehouse has been found which was perhaps used to store goods. Other significant finds include a bead factory containing tools for bead making, semi-finished and finished beads, many Mesopotamian seals and a brick dockyard connected to the Gulf of Cambay by a channel. Next, we'll take Dholavira. Dholavira lies in the Khadir Island. Next, largest Indus settlement in India. The city of Dholavira was located on Khadir Island in the Run of Kutch, where there was fresh water and fertile soil. Dholavira is famous for its magnificent town planning. Dholavira was different from the other Indus cities in that it was divided into not two but three parts: a citadel, a middle town and a lower town. Dholavira, each part was surrounded with massive stone walls with entrance through gateways. Many graves have been found here. The excavated graves contain pottery and jewellery. Next we will take Gola Dhoro. Gola Dhoro is a recently excavated site in the Kutch region. Excavated articles suggest articles of shell and copper were produced here. Many finished and unfinished shell bangles have been found here. A unique seal has also been found. Seal is shaped like a box and is hollow. Last part of this lesson, that is the declination of Harappan cities. Around 3,500 years ago, a big change in the life of the Harappan people. The number of people living in cities became less. Overseas trade stopped. Instead of baked bricks, sun-dried bricks began to be used for construction. The houses became less impressive. In Mohenjo-daro, the drains were choked and garbage got piled up on the streets. Why did all this happen? We are not sure. Some scholars suggest that the river dried up. Others suggest that there was deforestation. A general decline had begun. But specific causes must have different from city to city. There may have been natural disasters such as earthquake, floods and epidemics. So children, now we will sum up this lesson. Harappan and Mohenjo-daro were the most important in the cities. The cities were well planned. They were divided into two parts, the citadel and the lower town. Farming was an important occupation. Craftsmen made pots, seals, toys, ornaments and other objects. The Harappans exchanged goods with Mesopotamia, Persia, Oman and Afghanistan. The Harappan script was pictographic. Lothal, Dholavira and Goladoro are the important Harappan sites in Gujarat. The Harappan sites declined around 1500 BC. People moved to other areas.